What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Aha. And we're going back to the MTV Unplugged Summer Solstice. Luca is being silly, so we'll let her sit there for a moment. Also, there's a train going crazy outside. But yeah, we're up to what I remember at the end of the last song, they introduced as another new song. And indeed, I made sure I looked in my video playlist, and there was no reaction to a tune called A Break in the Clouds. So yeah, we're dealing with a track that I guess was composed anew for this, or at the very least was composed not for another album, not for one that I've already gone through. She's going to be very, I feel like you're going to be a mischievous cat. Let's see, relatively mischief-free. Oh, are we going to stand up? What are we doing here? Oh, I guess we're leaning against me. In any case, we're going to listen to A Break in the Clouds. I like the visual poetry, the idea of light coming through the clouds, but being blocked in other places. So there's this sun-dappled but, inconsistent patches of light and dark on the land. But even if you just focus on the sky, because of the way that clouds will be shaped and relative to each other, there'll be literally, you can see rays of sunshine coming down. So conceptually, a break in the clouds, it might suggest, bad outcomes and bad affairs, but then there's a break in that. There's a suspension of the rain and the downpour, and perhaps, sunlight can shine on one's life again. So I feel like there's immediately a very potentially potent visual metaphor at play, but ultimately, I imagine on some level, we might be thinking or even looking at clouds, but I imagine there'll be some figurative or conceptual understanding of the phrase. So let's get to it. This is Aha, A Break in the Clouds, a tune that was, again, listed or described as new at the end of the last reaction, which was always, The Sun Always Shines on TV. So let's get it. This is Aha, A Break in the Clouds from their MTV Unplugged release.
Setback, well,
it's that harpsichord sounding instrument.
And like before, I'm hiding more than I should. But I just wanted you to know. Temporary shutdown, well, and like before, we're making up the story as we go.
I think we all are.
I just wanted you to know.
Bit of a Beatles vibe right there.
I can't make it any other way. just wanted you to know. Breaking the clouds means something to me, means something to me. I don't know why I shine in the dark, means something to me. I love.
The blend of the strings and the keys. Love that. Like beautiful to bring that back. Right at the end of the track.
Everybody okay? Everybody can hear? You can hear us all right? It's like having people over in your living room.
I do, you know, it speaks to the nature of small venue performances and the way it's a more intimate, more personal feel. And I think, you know, there are good things to say about concerts of all different sizes, but I've seen some groups, even groups that, you know, went on to mainstream success. I'll never forget, I saw a punk band that became pretty internationally famous, Blink-182, but in their very earliest days, they played a faster, more kind of rip-roaring punk sound. They became known for a more pop-punk style. But I saw them in their early days at an espresso bar. It was like, you know, a restaurant essentially. There were maybe like 80, 90 people there, and they absolutely shredded it. And I remember thinking later, and they were very funny, they were interacting with the audience a lot, and I remember thinking later when they had gone big, and admittedly I hadn't followed them as closely by that point, but like, man, I feel like fortunate that I saw them in like such a small venue. Now again, it's a very different style of music, but again, I feel like in a performance where it feels like you're in your living room with guests who are observing a very like private, like intimate performance, it's a different atmosphere than a large concert, and you can like already feel the rapport, the like emotion and personality in the performance here. So really enjoying that aspect of it. Often, you know, I've found myself chuckling at their little comments between videos, so it does seem like they have, you know, a good stage presence on any level. In any case, do let me know what you think of this one. I thought it was a really beautiful tune. Not quite sure about exactly the metaphor, but it did seem ultimately a positive and uplifting atmosphere, certainly sonically, but it seemed to fit in with, on some level, what I think I was hearing. So I look forward to hearing what people say about this one. But yeah, I didn't catch all the lyrics, but the vocal performance, fantastic, and just the way the whole tune came together, it was really, really, really good tune, and I feel like, yeah, it could have worked on a studio album, so surprising maybe not to see it on something like True North, given that that was after this, and so this was already in their repertoire by that point, or their arsenal, you might even say. But yeah, let me know what you think of this one. I do apologize, Luca, I am going to have to get up at this point. See what she thinks about that. Not too much of a problem. Thought maybe about biting my hand for a moment, but I think we're good. Do let me know what you think. I'll see you next time. Peace.